Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about the 3 simple steps that you should take to pick the right colors for your website that will maximize the conversions and the sales that you will get to your site. When I created my first website, I made a lot of mistakes that I learned about and corrected over time, and one of the biggest ones was the colors that I used for my website. I'm sure I'm not alone on this. I'm sure there are many of us out there whose first instinct when putting a website together is to use the colors that we like, that we think are cool or beautiful or pretty, or maybe we just simply let the designer pick them for us. No matter what it was, a lot of those times when we pick the colors based on that, we probably did not pick the best colors for our website to maximize the number of sales that we would get. Um, Today I want to talk about the power of communication through color. Our business and website colors matter so much more than most of us realize. Millions and millions of dollars have been spent going into the research of the psychology of color, meaning the way in which colors affect us and communicate with us. Our human experience has conditioned us to associate different colors with feelings, different emotions, actions, and concepts. A good example of this is the color red. Warning signs and traffic signals are typically red, and because of this, we often associate the color red online and in stores with something that needs our attention, such as a sale or maybe an error message on our computer. So what I want to do is go through the 3 steps to help you pick the right colors so that you can communicate effectively with your customers and your consumers. When they come to your site, they have the right mood, they have the right feeling, and therefore will buy your product. The first step is to determine the purpose of your site. When we first put together our website, we have to remember that people don't really care about us or our website. The only reason our website exists and the only reason customers are coming to our website is to solve a customer's problem. And if we want our customers to stay on our site, we need to understand who they are and what will make them want to stay. So I put together a quick list of 4 items, reasons that people most likely visit a website. The first is to get information. The second is to purchase a product or service. The third is to join or be part of a community or club. And the fourth is just to be entertained. For PrestaShop, since we are mostly selling products and services, it's important to understand the type of products and services we are selling and the message we want to convey by using those products. You can see this infographic here. This is from Kissmetric. This is just a piece of this, but it kind of shows how the color and the mood of the color can affect the behavior of the site and how certain colors are better for certain kinds of sites. That brings us to step 2, which is to use color psychology to choose our main colors. When creating our website, we want to make it as simple and easy to look at as possible. It's important that we have no more than 1 or maybe 2 main colors for our site. Any more than that, and it starts to get really cluttery and ugly looking. In fact, here's a good example of a website where there are a lot of colors involved, and as you can see here, this is really hard to follow. It's hard for me to know exactly where I want to go or what I want to look at. It's just too messy, and the only thing I'm thinking about is how quickly can I get out of this site. Well, we don't want that to be the case with our website. We want it to be something that people want to come there, they want to stay and shop around. So take a look at this table. This table kind of shows on the left-hand side a color, and on the right-hand side the emotion that comes along and is conveyed with that color and is communicated with that. So as you can see on this list, if you chose red as your theme, you're looking for something that is really attention-getting, has really strong emotion. It has lots of emotions though: anger, love, warmth, comfort. Sometimes it has a bad effect, and this is when you have to kind of think through this. Not always, but if your buttons are red, that might tell people stop, and they might not want to click on it, as it might not be as inviting to click on it as a different color, say blue or green. But it just really depends on the site. But to start with your site, you want to pick one color and try it out in small doses and see how it fits. If you look at the Presta Designer site, you can see that our first color is blue. We don't have a whole lot of it. Still, a lot of our page is white space, but blue is our main color, and then beyond that, we have gray. So very, very light colors. They don't conflict with each other. They work very well together, and as you can see, we don't use them for a lot of the page. We want a lot of the page to be white because white represents openness and simplicity and cleanliness, and so that is something that you want to think about when you're putting together your website as well. Now I want to show you some examples of how these colors are being used in real websites by some of the big companies. If you look at Mercedes, for instance, you'll see that their site is mostly gray. They have a slider here at the top, but if you look at the background color of their site, it's gray. They don't even really have a second color, but if you had to choose one, I'd probably call it blue. The reason they have gray is because they want it to look a little bit more refined. They want to look sophisticated and clean. And these associations are appropriate for Mercedes target customers who are wealthy people who presumably want to be seen as distinguished and important. Now, you can also see that if you go to one of our PrestaDesigner sites, if you look at our PrestaShop theme, you'll see that it's also got kind of a gray, it's got a dark gray and a light gray, and that's pretty much all the colors on this website. There's blue, which is kind of an accent color, which we're going to talk about in a minute, but we want this site to have the look of timeliness and refinement and sophistication and calmness, which is why we chose those colors. If we look at Whole Foods is an example where we have mostly kind of a black, but a rugged black, and then the buttons are orange and we have some green. The colors orange and green represent balance and nature and health and energy, and that's what Whole Foods is trying to do. They're trying to promote healthy products, and so that color scheme fits with them. Likewise, if you look at our healthy store, you'll notice that this is also green and orange. And those are the kind of things that you want to associate with a health store. Just a couple other examples. We have Gillette. Now what Gillette has done is use the color most preferred by men. It's very masculine, it's very calm, and it speaks to men, and it is more inviting to the more masculine side of things, and it's very clean. And so Gillette knew this, and that is why they used blue. You can also look at one of our themes, which is Athletic Shop, which is also a very masculine type of shop. So we use blue and we use gray to kind of give it the feeling of calmness, but also masculinity. So as you can see, there's a lot of psychology behind the different colors and why they're being chosen. Now, so as you can see, it's good to have a strong color that really fits what you're trying to convey with your site. And you can look at this table and refer to it as much as you need to kind of help you figure that out. Now that you have your two main colors, maybe your one main color, whatever it happens to be, most business color schemes work best when an additional color that serves a very specific purpose is added, and we're going to call that an accent color. Now, there's a principle called the isolation effect that states that an item that stands out is more likely to be remembered. For instance, if you have a list of items in black font on a website, then you can change one of them to a green font. The item with the green font is most likely to be remembered because it stands out in the crowd and therefore grabs the most attention and makes the biggest imprint on your mind. You'll notice if we go back to some of these websites that they have this. If you look at Gillette, they've got an orange button which accents the blue and draws your eye to the orange to say, hey, click on me. A lot of times this is done for calls to action, for coupons, for email lists for people to sign up on, and that sort of thing. An example of one of our themes that does this very well is our clothes store. Now, if you look at this, you can see that here's a product, and the add to cart button is an accent color. It's a call to action button that draws your eyes to that button, which is what we want to click on. There are other buttons here, like this one over here, but that one isn't our main focus, and so we don't want to make that our action color. And we want to use it very sparingly, just enough so that people are drawn to that particular item or that button. By having an accent button, you will get more people clicking on the things that you want them to click on, which will in turn increase your conversions. And this is ultimately the goal of your website, is it not? To get more conversions. So to sum up the 3 steps that you should take to pick the right colors for your website to maximize your conversions, the first thing you want to do is determine the purpose of your site and what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to do, and pick the colors that align with that and communicate that. The second is to choose 1 to 2 main colors and make sure that you use those sparingly, but use them enough to convey the message that you're looking to convey. Finally, you want to use an accent color. This is the color that is really going to be the call to action. It should be the kind that stands out so that it gets clicked. because when it doesn't stand out, it's going to be ignored. As a rule, keep your website clean and simple by using no more than those colors. You can use different shades of those colors if you really need to, but be careful and choose wisely. So think beyond your favorite colors. Remember that your color scheme communicates to your visitors about the values and personality of your store and can have an effect on your conversions. That's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you, and please let me know if you have any questions. And go to our site, PrestaDesigner.com. Check us out. We have a whole bunch of videos like this. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.